This is your host, Angie, for From Religion to Woohoo. And I'm back with you. Just wanting to share a couple intuitive things I've been getting. I've said this before on a few other episodes, but I really like to share what I get in my spirit with you all, instead of just sharing of like my opinion. And so I try to make this podcast very I don't know, I want to help teach, but I want it to be very enlightening, I guess, and opening for expanding your understanding of yourself, the world around you, and how to continue to grow and heal, because growth and healing is a never-ending process. And I hate to say that in a negative way, because it's not. Growing and healing is so super amazing and positive, because it means you're evolving into your highest self, into your true being. And when you become stagnant or you stay stuck in a place in your life, it's almost like you quit. Like, you might grow in a couple areas, or you might expand your knowledge in something, but as far as elevating yourself into becoming who you were meant to be when you came to the earth, it can become stagnant when you're not really working on growth and healing. And I have come to understand in my own process of that requires much more than what we see on the outside. And I worked in mental health for so very long and worked on helping people heal, kind of. I'm hopeful that I was able to help some people, but in that process, what I learned was that you can't just heal in one area. You have to heal in many. And we are so when you come from the church or religion, especially evangelical, or kind of I don't know, I spent time in a lot of different kinds of religions and churches, and so I don't know if all of them teach the same thing. However, the ones that I was in, they all kind of said the same thing, but they compared God to the Trinity of who God is to an egg, or to ice, or to these things that represent three. So with the egg, there's the shell, the yolk, and the white, and then there's water. You could do ice, steam, water, kind of things like that. So, but they're all the same thing. They're all the same element. And we are also this. However, what we forget about is that we're energy. We are actually more energy than we are anything else. And that energy is our spirit, is our higher self. And that higher self is continually trying to pull us into itself, back into our authentic self of who we are as spirits. And so I really love the ability to, we never have to stay the same. I really love that we have the ability to heal and grow, period. I think it's just an amazing thing that we have, we can do on this earth. And I don't have a lot of time to go into a lot of this, but we are in such low vibrations here on this earth compared to other frequencies in the universe, that this is such a divine opportunity for us to expand and grow as spirits. And that involves learning how to use this body and mind for the purpose of that. And I've been going on a walk several times, or I'm trying to do it a couple of times a week. There's been a couple of weeks I haven't done it as much as I want, but so some funny stories about me and walking. I used to I've lost quite a bit of weight, probably around 80 to 90 pounds. And when I think my highest weight was like 265. So that's kind of hard to say out loud, but it's reality. So I am lost some weight. I've noticed I'm putting on weight like as I build muscle, which is really frustrating, but that's just how my body works. But I also have learned I have to really watch my energy, because my energy takes in weight too, because it all works together. But I was thinking the other day about how when I very first started, like, I was always athletic. I've always been involved in sports. I've always enjoyed, like, being outside. I've always enjoyed kind of getting sweaty and, like, working myself. And it's never been anything about that. But it's, like, that thought of I want to do it, but then the action of actually doing it is the hard part. Like, because we all have, I think, or I'm not going to say we all, I know that I do, like, some of us might have this idea of like, gosh, I am going to start doing this to better myself. And then the hard part is doing it. It's so, I remember when this has been years ago, when I very first started, like in my, I think in my early 30s or so, I was like, I'm going to run. Because I ran all the time when I was a teenager into my 20s. I loved to run. And so I'm like, I'm going to run. Well, I hadn't done it in so long that when I went out to run, I was like so slow. I couldn't make it very far. And as I was like jogging, this woman, an older woman, much older, passed me walking while I was running, y'all. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I was like defeated. But I didn't give up. I kept going. And, the thing that has changed for me in doing these things is I don't do it to punish myself anymore. I do it to better myself and to incorporate my spirit and my energy into it. So when I'm in nature, when I'm on a walk, when I'm doing something, I'm actually paying attention to how my energy feels and how my spirit feels and how my body feels. So I feel I embody it all, like everything, instead of just like going all in and being like, I've got to do this, I've got to get this muscle, I've got to lose this weight, I've got to get, because it's so, like, when you put that energy out there, it almost blocks what you want because it's so defeating. So this walk I like to go on has this really, really, really steep hill. And I think I've talked about this before, but there was a time I could not walk up this hill without stopping. Like, I remember the first time I did it, I put my hands on the ground and I crawled up it. And there were times I would turn around and walk up backwards because it hurt so bad to go, walk forward. And y'all, it was hard. It was so hard. And so I've been doing this walk quite a bit lately, and just thinking about, every time I do it, I'm like, gosh, I'm so thankful I can walk up this hill. I'm, out of breath usually in some form, but I can usually walk it up with somewhat ease. It's not as hard as it used to be. And the thing is about growth and healing is it doesn't ever get easier. We just get better. And this hill it didn't get smaller, it didn't flatten out, nothing happened to the hill. I just got better at going up it. And this is the same thing with other things in our life. I think we forget that when we start something, we have to be consistent for it to get better. Now, here's another another layer I want to share within the healing aspect, healing past traumas, healing our mind, healing, these kind of things. These come in layers. I will tell you that the first layers that I went through back in 2016, 2017, 2018 was hard, but thrilling. I felt excited about a lot of things that were happening. Then I went to this it was like a tsunami. Well, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to just say a tornado at that point. A tornado came through and started like shoving me into all these other areas in my life. Then in I would say around 2019, 2020, especially 2020, in September 2020 is when I will say the tsunami hit. It was like a freaking wipeout. Then things got a little easier for a little bit after I got through that phase. It took quite a while, about a year. And then now I'm going through another wave of deep healing. And so it's like, it didn't get easier. And it's like an up and down. It's like in the ocean. Like when, I don't know how to surf. I can paddleboard though. And I'm not like super well at staying up when it's windy and waves, but I'm getting better at it. But it's like you go out on the ocean and if you want to learn how to surf, I'm assuming this is how it is, but this is what I picture in my head is at first you were just being taken out like over and over by the waves. But you actually have to wait for the waves to go out there to practice doing it. Like, you can go out when it's flat and there's like tiny waves and you can get better at that. But you actually don't grow and expand in your ability until you challenge yourself to the next level. You take on the bigger waves. And so the ocean is like, there's an ebb and flow. There's going to be a calmness. There's going to be waves. There's going to be a calm. There's going to be waves. And that's how life is. And we have to allow ourselves to ride the waves. Like we have to learn how to surf through those moments. And it doesn't mean that the waves get easier. These things don't change. Mountains don't get smaller. We just get stronger. And we develop more ability to recognize and see things differently, therefore are able to handle things and heal and grow in the next level. But if we stay stagnant in one area, we stop and we refuse to move forward because it feels hard, or we look at the hill, we look at the mountain, we look at the waves, and you convince yourself in your mind, I can't do it. You're not going to do it. It's in those moments you take everything you learned in the past, all the harder moments that you made it through. You get back into your true self, your spirit. You connect with your inner being, your energy. You reconnect with all of who you are. And it's not about pushing through. It's about gliding. It's about riding the wave. You don't go out there and like force yourself through a wave. You go and you glide through it. You allow it to carry you where you're supposed to go or where you desire to go. And, I believe we all have a divine purpose that we're moving towards. It's just some have not taken that step to understand that or haven't had that awakening process where they can get there yet. So I wanted to just share all that because if you feel like you're in a moment of struggle, if you feel like you're in a moment of it's like you're shoving through life right now, take a moment and calm down, relax, evaluate, and just let yourself feel where you are and embody it. Embrace it, because when you embrace it and when you work with it instead of against it, that is when you expand and grow. I have so much more I want to share about this, but I'm going to leave it at that for now and let you kind of chew on it for a little bit. Again, I am here. Please reach out. My website is www.leaflessons.org. I am doing individual coaching, and then I'm going to be working on a new group coaching program for healers that want to heal. So if you want to reach out and just set up something with me. Also, I'm doing energy and psychic readings if you want to book one of those. And then I do Reiki sessions. I can do it over Zoom as well if you're wanting something like that. So I wish you all the best day, night, evening, whatever it is for you when you listen to this. I send you all the universal love that there is. Namaste.